They say football is a game of goals, of strikers, of dribbles, of moments that make grown men weep in the streets. But what if everything you believe about who wins a World Cup is only half the story? Because hidden behind every trophy lift, behind every iconic celebration, behind every golden moment in football history, there has almost always been one person the cameras forget. One person holding the fortress while the world watches the attack. One position so misunderstood, so undervalued, so catastrophically overlooked, that when they finally step into the light, they change everything. Today, we are asking the question the football world rarely dares to answer honestly: can a goalkeeper actually win a World Cup for their team? The FIFA World Cup is the most watched sporting event on Earth. Over 5 billion people tuned in for the 2022 edition in Qatar. 5 billion. And for all those billions of eyes, they are almost always watching the wrong end of the pitch. Football culture glorifies goals. It worships attackers. It builds statues of strikers and hangs jerseys of playmakers in living rooms across the world. But when you actually study the data, when you pull apart the history of the World Cup and look at what separates winning nations from losing ones, you find something extraordinary. Time and time again, it was the goalkeeper who was the difference. Not just a piece of the puzzle, the entire puzzle. Let's start with a fact that should stop you cold. At the 2002 FIFA World Cup, Oliver Kahn became the only goalkeeper in the tournament's history to win the Golden Ball, the award given to the best individual player of the entire tournament. Think about what that means. In a competition featuring the greatest footballers on the planet, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Zidane, the award for the best player went to a goalkeeper. Germany won their knockout games against Paraguay, the United States, and South Korea, all by a score of 1-0. In each match, it was Kahn holding the line. His willingness to leave his penalty area to intercept attacks gave Germany a tactical advantage that no other team could replicate. He didn't just stop shots, he carried an entire nation on his back to the world's biggest stage, and Kahn is not alone. In 2006, Gianluigi Buffon helped Italy win the World Cup by keeping 5 clean sheets throughout the tournament. Italy did not have the most dazzling attack, they had the most unbreakable wall. Then came 2022, and a goalkeeper named Emiliano Martinez rewrote the modern understanding of what a keeper can mean to a team. Lionel Messi himself described Martinez's influence on Argentina's World Cup winning side with a single word: fundamental. In the final against France, Martinez saved penalties in the shootout after previously saving 2 more spot kicks in the quarter-final against the Netherlands. In the final against France, Martinez saved penalties in the shootout after previously saving 2 more spot kicks in the quarter-final against the Netherlands. In extra time of the final itself, he denied France's Randal Kolo Muani with an outstretched leg, a save he called the best of his career, to force the penalty shootout. Without that save, there is no shootout. Without that shootout, there is no trophy. Without Martinez, there is no Messi World Cup winner. So why does the world keep underestimating goalkeepers? The answer is psychological as much as tactical. A striker can miss multiple opportunities and still walk away with the headline. A goalkeeper can be flawless for 89 minutes and then be defined by the one shot that slips in. That asymmetry is brutal. It means goalkeeping excellence goes invisible until it disappears. But analysts who study tournament football understand the math. Almost all 22 nations to ever win the World Cup have relied on the same goalkeeper throughout the entire tournament. Consistency in goal is structural. The modern game has made the goalkeeper even more critical. Manuel Neuer redefined the role at the 2014 World Cup, embodying the sweeper-keeper archetype. His willingness to leave his penalty area to intercept attacks gave Germany a tactical advantage that no other team could replicate. The goalkeeper is no longer just the last line of defense. They are now the first line of attack. They command the press and launch counterattacks. Keylor Navas, at the 2014 World Cup against Greece, made 7 saves while his team played with 10 men. Costa Rica survived because of him alone. Tim Howard made 16 saves against Belgium in 2014, the most saves in any World Cup game since records began. They would have been destroyed without him. These are not supporting actors. These are the protagonists. As the 2026 World Cup approaches, co-hosted by the USA, Canada, and Mexico, the goalkeeper question becomes more urgent than ever. More teams, more knockout rounds, more penalty shootouts. The math means a team could now face up to 3 shootouts on the road to glory. In that world, the goalkeeper is not just important. They are the single most decisive individual on the pitch. Nations are beginning to understand this. Investment in goalkeeper coaching, sports psychology for penalty situations, and tactical analysis of shot-stopping data has surged across elite programs. The keepers who will define 2026 are being trained right now, and the team that finds its Martinez, its Kahn, its Buffon, will hold an advantage. An advantage that no striker, no matter how brilliant, can overcome alone. So, can a goalkeeper win the World Cup for a team? History has already answered that question, not with words, with trophies. From Dino Zoff lifting the cup as a 40-year-old captain in 1982 to Emiliano Martinez sprawling across the turf in Lusail in 2022, the greatest moments in World Cup history have a goalkeeper somewhere at the center of them. Football asks 11 players to win together, but sometimes, in the most brutal, high-stakes moments, it asks one person to hold the world at bay. And every few years, one goalkeeper answers that call, not just with their hands, but with history.